Welcome to Bump Set Chat, the podcast where volleyball professionals come on and share their stories, experiences, and advice. And today, from Team Canada, Nyadholi Thokbuom. Welcome.
Thank you.
Did I get the name right?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. All right. So the way we get things rolling here is we do a few random questions. So are you ready?
I think so. I hope so.
All right. So if you're playing, if they did intro songs for players, what would your intro song be?
Oh, you immediately got me there. I'm really into ASAP Rocky, Praise the Lord right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's been around for like a few years, since 2017, but it's a good like pump up.
All right. There we go. All right. So now, after you're overseas playing volleyball, you're coming home for the first time. What is that one meal you're looking forward to the most?
It's the same, or it's been the same for the 2 years that I've been playing, but it's a South Sudanese dish called malag kundora,
Mm-hmm.
made with like chopped up spinach, chicken, lots of seasoning, turmeric,
Oh,
and it's
nice.
not finger food. So whenever I get home, my mom makes a huge pot of that because I almost eat it on my own. Um, and then just that, honestly. I can do without the rest of the food because I know I'll have that once I go to Vancouver and live
Yeah.
on my own. I can make it, she just does it the best. So
Moms
that
always make the meals better. There's no doubt about that.
so much better, so
Yeah.
much better.
All right. Last question. So what's one TV show or movie you watch way too many times?
Gossip Girl.
Okay. All right.
It's not a, like a kids TV show, but that I revisit that a lot. And Gilmore Girls.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, welcome to the pod. So, first of all, where are you from?
I'm from Calgary, Alberta. My family, as I mentioned before, is originally from South Sudan, though,
Yeah.
in East Africa.
All right. And when did you first discover volleyball?
I started playing when I was 12 on my junior high team. One of my friends kind of talked me into it because I was like, I wasn't into sports yet. All my brothers played basketball, so I was like, okay, naturally, I'm gonna play basketball. But I tried out for track, I tried out for badminton. And then my friend was like, "Oh, you should do volleyball with me." So 12 years old. But I didn't start playing club until I was about 15.
All right. Very cool. Yeah. And that's just something down here in the States you don't see a lot of is badminton. People think of badminton down here, it's just backyard, but it's a great sport. It's an amazing workout.
It is very intense, and I didn't make it because it was so intense and I wasn't prepared for it,
Yeah.
but it's like entertaining to watch, just so back and forth and fast paced.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, speaking of club, who did you play for, and how was your club experience?
For my first 2 years, so from 15 to 17, I played for a club in Calgary called 403 Selects.
Hmm.
And then in my final year in U18, I played for the junior dinos.
Oh, nice. Because the Dinos, they have the Calgary Dinos for the U Sports teams.
Yeah, yeah. And the high school that I was going to at the time was very like, I won't say a feeder program, but a lot of my team in the high school was part of the junior dinos. And so I made the switch just because it was like, it felt like home already.
Yeah,
And then it was just a better place for me to kind of grow and become.
nice. And now, how important was playing club to being able for you to play at that next level at U Sports?
It was like, I think it's the only way that I could have gotten to where I am because I come from a part of town in Calgary where club sports are not very like accessible,
Yeah.
and not only financially, but because like all of the practice facilities and where they work out and just everything that they operate their things in were on the other side, like in the south.
Yeah.
And so it was like it wasn't in the cards for me, but once I transferred to the high school that I went to, um, the coaches like really saw something in me, which I did not see in myself. I didn't even like think I wanted to play volleyball beyond grade 10.
Yeah.
I was not like it was just for fun. But they like scouted me out. They said, "Oh, this would be like a really great opportunity." They really helped my family out financially and like getting me to practices, getting me to games. I truly would not have like thought about a future in volleyball if it weren't for those people that put
Oh,
time and effort and money. in me
Yeah.
as well. Like it
That's
was a really big deal.
that's awesome. And now, you see you're playing for fun. Did you have a competitiveness side to you as well, or did that came out later?
I think it came out later, and I'm still finding it now because, like, of course, this is fun for me, but now it's like a full-time job.
Yeah.
I'm finding that balance. But it didn't come out until a lot later. I want to say maybe like last year of
Yeah.
high school.
All right. And now, after high school, you ended up at Mount Royal playing for the Cougars. What was your path there? Was that were you looking at other schools as well, or just Mount Royal felt right?
I'll say Mount Royal felt very right. I knew I wasn't ready to leave home. Because I have a really big family and we're all super tight knit. I have
Yeah.
7 siblings. I'm one of 8. And we all like still live in Calgary. We're all very close. We talk every day,
Nice.
multiple times a day. And I just wasn't ready to leave that at 18.
Yeah.
And I knew I didn't want to go to U of C because it's such a bigger school. And Mount Royal was the next best
Yeah.
thing. It was at home. It was a small faculty. Like the programs were also close and tight knit. And the program was like coming up.
Yeah.
And so I felt comfortable going there. I did have like one look from a school in the States, but ultimately I just decided not to go
Yeah.
because I didn't want to leave yet.
Right. Like you said, you're close with your family, and then to go down there, you're all alone. At 18, that's a lot on a young person's shoulders.
Yeah, for sure. And I knew like right away that I was like, no, I don't think I did think about it because like of course that's a huge opportunity for not only yourself but your
Hmm.
family. Just not have to put down all of that money
Right.
into your schooling.
Yeah.
So,
All
but I'm
right.
happy with how I decided overall.
Nice. And now, for you, what was some of the more challenging things that first season of university?
Definitely the academics. It was a very big adjustment coming from high school into university for
Hmm.
me. In that first semester, I actually came really close to like academic
Oh,
probation.
wow.
I got a warning and everything. Like it was very real. I was like, oh, how am I going to do this? Like it was just super difficult to kind of pick up the pace on your own and not get that like those reminders from your teachers that you would in school.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I lived still on the other side of town with my family, and I was commuting every
Oh,
morning,
wow.
staying on campus for practices late in the evening, and then commuting back. So I had like no time management skills. I had all this time in the day to do my schoolwork
Yeah.
on campus, but I just like I didn't know how to use it.
You're a kid. You're enjoying, that
Yeah.
freedom.
I was like, oh, this is fun. It's my first year, first semester, but it hit me real
Yeah.
fast.
Oh, wow.
So that was the biggest adjustment for sure.
And then the other piece of that too, that people down here in the States don't know, for youth sports, your season is like from basically fall till March, essentially, right?
Yeah, it's like a season overseas. You start in September and you're finish in March, maybe beginning of April if you make it to nationals.
Yeah. And then from a volleyball standpoint, what was sort of the biggest adjustments for, from coming from club where, you're playing your age group essentially, and now you're playing with women from 18, 19 to 22, 23 maybe.
Um, in my experience, I want to say it wasn't that jarring for me because thankfully I had a really, really great group of women in my first year that kind
Yeah.
of took me under their wing. And I was thrown into the starting position as well. So I didn't have
Oh,
time
wow.
to think about like, am I doing any of this right? Like I was just, here, we trust you. You're
Yeah.
on the court for a majority of the games. And like the girls really helped me out. They took me under their wing, even when I was like in an academic probation
Hmm.
situation, really, really nurturing and like caring. And they were just very, very helpful in that sense. And then everything on court kind of followed. Like it was a different pace. It was a different game. But they made that really easy for me. I don't really remember being like, oh, I don't know how to do any of this. Like
Yeah.
I always like knew that it was going to come, especially because what I was mostly worried about were my academics.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of took all of my attention at the time. So looking back now, I'm like, I don't really remember being very, like, of course I was scared, but not too,
Yeah.
too.
All right. And now you're looking back at your time there. What were some of the highlights?
Definitely qualifying for nationals for the first time. I think that was around just before COVID really started. It was
Okay.
2020. We qualified for our first nationals. We got the third place medal, and we took the final spot to be able to go. And it was like so surreal that playoff run that we had. We just were finding our way of playing
Mm-hmm.
as a team and as a group. And it was like our culture was being built that year. Um, how we help each other out on the court, off the court. It was like creating something really big. And I think the program still has it now. Like I was lucky enough to go back and train with them this past fall because I was late due to visa reasons to
Yeah.
my student. And like it's thriving now. Like it's so amazing to think that I had such a small part in it.
Yeah.
And to be able to come back and like be welcomed back with open arms is really special. So
Nice.
yeah.
And now, for you, I guess if you could go back to, first year Dolly, what would you say to her and what kind of advice would you have for her?
I would say take your time. Don't rush.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was rushing through every single day, every single thing that I was doing that I like even now I don't really remember much
Yeah.
because I was just like trying so hard to succeed that I didn't slow down and like appreciate where I was at
Yeah.
because I was sitting in a blessing that I was asking for years
Yeah.
before I even realized. And now I'm looking back, I'm like, I asked for that struggle. I asked for that. I asked for all of the things that I got, and I didn't appreciate it at the time. And
Mm-hmm.
now I wish I sat in it a little bit more.
Sort of like, slow down and smell the flowers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there were a lot of flowers there. Like I didn't appreciate them at the time.
Yeah. All right. And now if somebody was considering going to Mount Royal, why should they go there?
Definitely for the girls. The girls are always like the top recruits on and off the court. Like I have no complaints for who I have like come across,
Mm-hmm.
who I've crossed paths with in that school and the resources. Like that's one of the only schools in youth sport that has an athletic therapy program. And so we have a really great group of like trainers and therapists on the teams and like training us, helping us out all year round. And it was like, if you're going to get injured, that's where you want to be
Yeah.
at MRU for sure. And so they helped everyone through so much. And then just the schooling, like I know for myself, I thrive in like smaller community like situation kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing. And I didn't have a class bigger than 40 students.
Nice.
And I know there are schools out there that have like classes 300, 400 in one sitting,
Uh-huh.
like one professor with all of these kids. And I knew that was not for me from the very beginning. So I have nothing but great things to say for Mount Royal for that and for the teams. There are only 8 teams as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so like everyone just knows each other. It's a really good place to like find your way.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I just love that place.
And that, what do you miss most about, that college university experience?
I miss
Mm-hmm.
the supporters for sure, and the athletes.
Yeah.
The athletes made it a great time. We would all go to each other's games whenever we had the chance. Playoffs were always really exciting. You'd see like the athlete section with all of the signs and like the big noise makers, and they made it like a really great, like a really fun thing.
Nice. And now, after Mount Royal, or I guess, when did Team Canada show up on the picture or show up on the landscape for you?
It was actually in my after my first year.
Oh, okay.
My coach at the time really encouraged me to go to the tryout. I was not optimistic about it at all. I just got my first job. I was like, yeah, I'm like set for the summer. I'm gonna start training. Like I'm really excited. And she was really like, no, like I think this would be a really good thing for you. Just have an open mind, go to the
Mm-hmm.
trial, whatever happens, happens. And if anything does happen, your name is out there.
Yep.
That that's all you can get. And so I'm really thankful to her for that. Um, but I went to the tryout. I packed very light. It was a couple days, and I was prepared to go home that weekend and not think anything of it.
Yep.
And on the last day of the tryout, a few of the girls that did try out went to dinner together, and we were told we'd get emails telling us if we made it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And while we were at dinner, we got the emails and we all looked at our phones. Some of us had yes, some of us had no. I looked at mine. It said, yes, you've made the team. Congratulations. Like, report back on this date.
Yeah.
And I was in such shock that I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. I start bawling my eyes out. I'm
Oh.
like, what just happened? I did not expect this at all. I was 19, just turned 19.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? I have to go back home and pack everything I own for 3 months
Oh,
and,
wow.
and train. And so I was like, I went back home. I was like, Mom, I made the team. I have to pack. I gotta go. What do I do? I have to tell my job that I'm quitting, even though I just got it. Like, she's like, calm down, relax. This is what you wanted.
Yeah.
This is exactly what you wanted. And I go, yeah, you're right. They'll understand. The job will be fine. And so that was my first experience in 2019
Yeah.
with the national team.
And now, what was it like going there for the first time? You got, packed up, you show up there. What was that experience? You walking into the gym and you see all of these, all the best people in Canada who play volleyball.
Oh, it was like I was pinching myself every day. I think I still have videos on my phone from that whole summer, like waking up in the mornings. I would ride my bike to the gym. I had like the first day we got all of our gear, the
Yeah.
backpack, the shoes. It was like I think I cried like probably once a week because I was like, what is going on here? Like, what am I doing here? Very much imposter syndrome
Yeah.
because I started playing so late. I was like, why is this happening so fast? Like, happening at all, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make sense, but I was like just so excited. And some of the girls that I played on that first next gen team with are on the senior team now. So I'm like we've been here for a long time and it's like it's just crazy to still think.
Nice. And now, when you got your gear, did you get your uniform as well, or did the uniform come later?
The uniform came later and they kind of did like a nice little jersey ceremony where they'd call your name and number. And then all the girls would clap and you'd go pick up your jersey and
Yeah.
like very, very sweet.
And now, when you got it and you saw your name there, what was you like? What was your reaction? Like, oh my god, this is pinching yourself still.
I also cried again, for sure. I did. I took pictures, I sent it to my family group chat, and they were just like, "You're really doing it. Like this is a dream come true." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And it still
Yeah.
is.
And how about that first time, you guys went somewhere to play? What was that? In hearing the national anthem and you're there, you're part of that. Do you remember when that was?
So that summer I wasn't picked up for a roster. It would have been the next summer we went to the Dominican Republic. And we hear the national anthem for youth sport games every game.
Right.
But on this kind of like level, when you're in a different country playing another country,
Mm-hmm.
their national anthem too, I don't know how to describe the feeling. It was like the closest thing to the Olympic Games that I could get
Yeah.
because that is the closest I've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, wow, I'm really here, like looking at my jersey and like watching game film, get to study all of these things. And like I don't know, I feel like a little kid, like I'm getting describing it, but I just had so much fun with a good amount of pressure also
Mm-hmm.
because this was my first time it would have been.
Yeah.
Um,
And now,
but
that first game, that first tournament you went to, how was were you like, how did the pace of play, were you able to, you know, I guess, keep up with it quickly, or did it take some time to get used to it?
It took some time, for sure. It took some time, and it's still taking some time, definitely. The pace was out of this world. It was so fast. And as a middle blocker
Hmm.
in youth sport, going into like international competition, you're like humbled very fast. And I
Yeah.
was. I was. But I was just like excited to be there, ready for the challenge. And I was like, I'm learning so much so fast.
Hmm.
And the coaching staff was very understanding of where I was at in my development. Like it was only after my second year of university.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah. I actually think that was in 2022 because 2021 was the summer we didn't have national team
Yeah.
any. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So how was that whole COVID year experience? I know, talking to some people that went, played at Hawaii and other schools down here. What was the COVID experience like for you guys up there from a sports standpoint?
it was very strange. We still had like a roster and a group chat and the team was made as normal. We just didn't report to Vancouver. We stayed in our cities, obviously,
Yeah.
but we would have like programs made and we were to do the programs. We'd like check in with our ATs, we'd have calls. And it was like very, very strange.
Yeah.
I think I like blocked it out of my mind even. I'm thinking back and I remember taking a call because I was like I wasn't injured, but I had something going on.
Yeah.
And so I hopped on a call and like I was treating myself, but he was describing
Okay.
how to treat.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was very, very, very odd.
Wow. Looking back at your club time, is there something you wish your club would have focused on more with yourself that you would have helped you more down the road? And just let me preface that with down here, we get a lot of players. Once you're middle, you're middle. You don't worry about other skill sets. Versus over in Europe, they are an all round. All skills are being worked on. How about your experience from club up in Canada?
I would say the exact same thing. I was a middle and that was it.
Yeah, you're the tall person. You're going in the middle. Don't worry about passing.
Yeah, there wasn't much focus on ball control. There was defense, of course, but it wasn't too extreme for my position as it
Yeah.
was for others, just because we're not on court 100% of the time, so we didn't need it. But I think if there was more of an emphasis on like all around skills, like ball control, setting, high ball setting, because you'd be surprised how many times a middle has to high ball set in a game.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have that skill, like it's not going to do so much good for them.
Right. Yeah.
So my coach overseas, where I just finished playing for 2 years, he that was like very much his philosophy when I came in because I wasn't very like seasoned in those little skills.
Yeah.
So he really took the time and we practiced twice a day, most days. And in the mornings, he really took the time to like refine my like defense and how I move and my block footwork and like high ball setting and those things. And I think after 2 seasons there, it really paid off. And like I can say that I'm able to do a lot of the things that I don't think many middles are taught until they leave,
Yeah.
maybe go play overseas if they want that.
Yeah. And speaking of going overseas, I've had a couple of players on, that went to Japan and Europe and whatnot. They talk about 2 day practices. First practices, there's no swinging, there's no jumping. It is just all ball control for a couple hours. And that's probably why the Europeans are so good with the all round skill sets.
Yeah. And they get it from such a young age.
Yeah.
Like our club team has younger teams, like club teams as well. But they have kids playing from age of 5, 6, 7, sometimes 4, and
Yeah.
they're already playing volleyball. They're already learning those skills, and it's like because they want it, not because they're being like pushed into it. And
Right.
it's also very different too, because I feel like the sports for the young kids that we have here around
Mm-hmm.
that age, soccer or like gymnastics, basketball, like volleyball is a very, very difficult like sport to pick up.
Yep.
And so they start so early and they're just in it.
Yeah. And now, after Mount Royal, was pro always, going pro was always a plan or sort of just, came together?
No, I think it came together. I don't think I started to really want a professional career until late in my third year, maybe fourth year, because
Okay.
I took a summer off as well. And I took the summer off so that I could graduate on time because of the first semester, and then other semesters
Yeah.
prior. I had like some struggles as well, but I took the summer off and I was like, if I'm going to graduate, this is what I have to do. I have to take the summer off and then I can go pro because I knew myself once I stopped, if I left early, I was not going to go back.
Right.
It was going to be too difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put my head down that summer. I did my courses, and I finished with the highest GPA I've ever had.
Nice.
And then I ended up also being called to a tournament because some of the middles were injured or sick. So I got to compete that summer still,
Oh,
which was like
nice.
best of both worlds.
And now, what did you graduate with?
I graduated with a degree in sociology.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. As often it's forgotten about once I talk to the athletes and it's like, oh yeah, you did go to school. What did you take?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like you're really in school to play volleyball, but like you're also in school. So
Yeah. Speaking of pro, so, how did that come together? Yeah, an agent, some team reached out, and what was that process like?
I had an agent reach out to me around my third year, actually, and knowing that I wasn't graduating yet, but just getting the relationship started and like introducing yourself, asking about what your plans are, that kind of thing. And it was all very like calm at the beginning because you're so far from graduating
Right.
still. But it wasn't until the last semester of my last year that I signed with an agency. And then I also found my team not long after that. It probably took maybe 2 or 3 months
Mm-hmm.
team. But it was very like once you're in the national team, you have like connections with agencies already because your teammates are already playing overseas
Right.
as well. You have those resources, you're able to ask them, you're able to ask the coaching staff. But for the most part, they reach out to you just because they see like your platform and your profile and things and
Yeah.
stuff. So kind of ask around.
And who are you playing for? Or who did you play for the last 2 years?
I played for a Chalu Volley in Belgium, in the south of Belgium.
And how was that first season? I get a lot of feedback from a lot of players that, the first season is tough. You're alone. Some players are playing in like Norway or Finland where it's like dark half the year. So, how was your first year?
Um, it was very, very tough the first half, mentally, for
Yeah.
sure. I lived in a house with four other girls, and it was like very big, mind you. So there weren't any problems, but it was one bathroom,
Oh
one
my.
toilet, like four girls. I've only
Oh,
ever lived with boys because my brothers, and so it was very different. And then the language barrier, the practicing, the schedule, and it was just like really tough. Like I've never been pushed in that way
yeah.
before on the court. Um, to the point where I like seriously debated going home over Christmas.
Yeah.
But like I talked to my family and I was like, you've gotten this far. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is again what you wanted. This is what you prayed for. This is you're living in a blessing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you guys are right. Like this is only gonna get me to where I've been wanting for so long. And so I decided to stay and like things turned very quickly once I changed my mindset. Like the way that they push you over there is
Mm-hmm.
simply because they want the best for you and for the team. And
Yeah.
like once you're there, they know that this is just a stepping stone in your career. Like you're not there for like just to be there for
Right.
like 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
And so once I changed my mindset, it got a lot better. I grew really close with my roommates, my teammates, and 2 years later, I'm like, I consider them like family members now. I'm so thankful that I was able to live with them because going into it, I was like, I don't know if living with four other girls is something that I want.
Right. For other
But it,
strangers that you've never met before.
yes, from the other side of the world, from different countries, we all speak different languages. Um, but it turned out to be really, really great.
Yeah. And now let's
Yeah.
go back. You said you grew up in a house of boys. Are you the only girl out of the eight?
For 11 years, I was the only girl.
Oh,
I
wow.
I have a little sister. She's 14 now.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
my. So a bit of an adjustment now living with four other girls.
It was a major adjustment.
Oh,
I knew how to deal with boys, but girls, I was like, this is out of my wheelhouse.
yeah. And that, that first year, yours over the last 2 years, what have been some of the highlights of playing pro and living in Belgium?
I think just the fact that I was able to leave Canada and continue playing was a very, very big deal for me. So that
Yeah.
was a huge accomplishment already. But seeing the world, I got to see some amazing things. Like it's such a beautiful little country. Like you can go around in like on a road trip within 3 hours and you've seen the whole country.
Wow.
It's a very, very beautiful place. Highlight was we actually got our team to qualify for we got to our national championship, like the final game for the first time in the club's
Oh,
history.
wow.
And that was really awesome to be a part of. We finished the best regular season in club history this past season, although it was a really tough one. Like we won a lot more than we ever have. So a lot of great things that I was able to be part of for that club as well.
Nice. And now for any other players thinking about coming overseas and playing pro, what advice do you have for them?
Um, I'd say you have to know what you want, like pretty well. Like you have to have your why pretty set in stone.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're going for a contract that offers you good money, if you're going for the coaching, if you're going to be developed and get better, if you want to be challenged, your living situation, if you're going somewhere because you just want the life there. It's all really, really important to know why you're doing what you're about to do because once you're there, like, yes, you can leave. It's your choice at the end of the day, but it will be harder to find what's next
Yeah.
afterwards.
All right.
So
Excellent.
knowing exactly what you want is a
Yeah.
big one.
And now, now you came back home. Like we were talking earlier, you got to Calgary for a little bit, basically enough time to do laundry, and now you're out in Vancouver. What was that like coming back to Vancouver and seeing all the girls again?
Oh, it was like I couldn't focus on the drills. I was just wanting to catch up with everybody. I'm like, how was your season? Like, you were here. Where are you going next? Like, just wanting to catch up with everybody because you haven't seen them in a year.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you come back, something is different. Someone is different. There was a wedding that happened, someone got married, or like just huge life changes that you miss out on, and you get to finally talk to them. And it's like, we have to practice and we have to do these drills and focus, but I'm like, oh, I can't. Like, I haven't seen everyone at all. So it was like very, very, it was a nice homecoming.
Nice. Yeah, I had Shannon on a while ago, and she talks about that first practice. Is like they know there's not much going to get done, so it's kind of an easy one. But speaking of Shannon, you came back, and now there's a whole new coach in place. Shannon's moved on to being an overall taking care of the whole performance group. How's the? Have you met the coach?
Yes, he's great. Really loving his style of coaching. He has so much knowledge and he's
Mm-hmm.
sharing as much as he can already. And it's very, very, very like eye-opening. We're learning so much.
Yeah.
Or I won't speak for anyone else, but I'm learning like a lot in the 2 weeks that I've been here.
Nice. And now, for you, for game day, do you have any rituals or superstitions you have? Do you have to have a certain meal, listen to a certain playlist?
No, I'm pretty fluid on game days. The only things that I actually no, there aren't any things that I'd change. I eat differently most days. I have my coffees. Like I'm pretty fluid on
Okay.
game.
And now,
Maybe that'll change,
what was
but
that?
maybe that'll change over
Okay.
time, but I'm pretty fluid right now.
All right. And now, when it comes to playing, what is your sort of go to reset after you have a couple of bad plays?
Two deep breaths.
Yeah.
I take 2 deep breaths before any serve. coming to our side or any serve that we're giving. 2 deep breaths. I look at my feet and I kind of wiggle my toes. Just remember, like I said with our sports psych at MRU, like remember where your feet are. And so when I'm able to do that, I'm like bringing myself back down to earth if I'm getting a little crazy. Just like remember where your feet are, Dolly.
Yeah.
You're here in this game. You're not in the result afterwards. That has nothing to do with you right now. So just settle down.
All right, excellent. And now, for you, when it comes to volleyball, who's been your sort of biggest influence in your development as a player, or the biggest mentor?
I think the biggest influence as of recently, simply because I've been working with him for 2 years, is my coach overseas. He like he poured a lot of time and effort into making me a more well-rounded athlete, not just a
Mm-hmm.
middle blocker, but a more well-rounded volleyball player. And I don't think I would be like as confident is in the little things as I am now.
Yeah.
When I went there, I wasn't able to set a ball. I wasn't able to like hit the floor and dive. I wasn't able to do things like that that are so vital to our game for everybody.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, if you're gonna get anywhere, like you need to learn these things and you need to learn them now. And I was like, are you sure I'm just the middle? And he like took that mindset out of me very fast.
You're like, are you sure you want me to dive? Like,
Yeah, yeah. Like I was saying things like that, and it's so insane now. But that was like, if I didn't take that away from him in the first season,
yeah.
I don't think I would be getting as far as I am
And what's his
now.
name?
His name is Hugo Blairon.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. And now, speaking of the little things, what have been some of the little things that you've learned to help you be a better blocker?
I work because I don't think blocking is ever going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to be something that you have to learn as you go because the game changes so fast and setters are just getting harder and harder to read.
Mm-hmm.
So you just kind of have to like trust your eyes and your feet that they're going to get you to where you need to be.
Yeah.
And I'm still like grappling with that because I'm like, no, if I don't go first, I'm not going to beat them, but then they're going to beat you because they set the other way because they know that they tricked you.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, that's where my mind is in blocking right now. But trusting your eyes and like knowing what you're seeing and letting the ball go, knowing that you have to chase it, you're not supposed to go first. That's what I'm battling right
All
now.
right. And then speaking of eye work, what do you mean by eye? Are you watching the ball, the setter, the other middle blocker, or trying to take it all in?
I think I go from the pass to the ball directly to the setter.
Mm-hmm.
Once I see where the ball is going, it's not going to give me any information.
Yeah.
So I have to go straight to the setter, watch their movements. Some have tendencies, some are really good at hiding their tendencies, some aren't. But just because you think you have a tendency in your head
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean they're going to perform that tendency right then and there.
Yeah.
So you really have to wait for the setter to let go of the ball and then you can go chase it.
Excellent. All
Yeah.
right. Now I got a fun question. So I had Eric Shoji on a while ago, and him and Taylor Averill have this thing. What's the toughest position in volleyball? So, Dolly, what is the toughest position in volleyball?
I have to say middle or
Mm-hmm.
libero.
Just
I've
hang on. Let's go back. Did you say
never
libero? Oh my God, Vicky Savard is going to laugh so hard at this one.
middle or libero. I'm sorry, but middles are expected to be part of every block touch, every single block touch. And then you have to transition and
Mm-hmm.
jump on every single set. If
Yeah.
you're going to hold the middle, if you're going to get the set, never guaranteed that you're going to get the set.
Mm-hmm.
You're racking up all of these jumps just to not get a ball sometimes, and you have to be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, you have a job. Like you're trying to make seams
Mm-hmm.
for your sides. But you're also like having to touch every single ball is so, so difficult. Like
Yeah.
it's not easy.
And you're
I don't
getting
think
pushed around all the time too.
yes, and you're getting pushed around and you have to like, oh, it's a hard job. It's a hard job.
All right. And yeah, when you said libero, so I asked that question to everybody, and Vicky said, she said, "Who said libero?" And I said Mason Briggs, and she just laughed at that. So it was a funny thing. But now on the tail end of that, I had Christian Huron, who's the PME guy. He's on everybody's TikToks. When he was with the U.S. team doing the VNLs, he started asking the question, "What's the easiest position in volleyball?" So Dolly, is there an easy position in volleyball? And if it is, what is it?
That depends on how people define easy. I don't think there's an easy position.
Mm-hmm.
You could say setter, but setters are running miles and miles if the ball is not perfect
Yeah.
on their head. They could be running forever. They defend quite a bit, yeah. Um, People are picking on them in defense because they don't want them to set, of
Mm-hmm.
course. That's never easy. Um, Liberos, yeah, they only have one job defending, but they also have to run and hit the floor and
Yeah.
put their body into crazy positions to make the ball, to keep the ball in play.
And the other piece with the liberos, you only have one job. You can't afford to be bad at that job. You can't make it up
Yeah,
by blocking or hitting or serving.
yeah, that's really your only job.
Yeah.
Um, Easiest job, I'd have to say, might be an
All
opposite.
right. That's okay. That's the most common answer. So you're good. You're not offending
Yeah.
anybody. It's all good.
Oh, that's a tough one because I know someone is going to be offended. So
Don't worry. Oh. And now if you could change one rule in volleyball, what rule would you change?
it's already changing, but the double touch.
Ah. Oh, so it's changing in the international side too?
No, I think just for the VNL is
Oh,
where
nice.
pay off, but they're not counting the number of spins in a ball anymore.
So
So
you could be a setter.
I could be a setter.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, we had
Yeah.
that change last year down here for the college and I loved it. I was a setter. Initially when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, it's awful. Where's the purest, it's a pure thing." But you know what? It made it took the judgment out of the referee's hands and it just made rallies last longer. And now the young kids, we're seeing it in our high school now adopting it. And now they're not going to be worried about, "Oh, I got to bump past this." I just think overall it's such a great thing.
Yeah. And of course, if it's like an extremely visible double touch, like they're gonna call it.
Right.
But for the small ones that they don't that they call, I'm like, that was not necessary.
Mhm.
It could have been a great play,
Yeah.
but
Excellent.
I don't.
And now away from volleyball, what are some things you like to do?
I'm really into reading. I'm getting into reading again. I feel like I wasn't in it during my degree
Mm-hmm.
because studying and books
Right.
and all of that. So I'm really enjoying reading books again.
Nice.
I love fashion as well. I would style my brothers all the time. Like whenever they had somewhere to go, I'd put their outfits together. I'd style my friends, and I like am always on Pinterest. I think that is the one app that has all of my screen time. More than TikTok, more than Instagram, Pinterest is my bread and butter.
Now, do your parents let you style them or no?
Yes,
Okay.
my parents let me style them. Mostly my mom. My
Mm-hmm.
dad, we're bringing him around to that idea.
Okay.
But I love putting outfits together and styling people. I actually thought it could be like a fun business venture maybe down the line.
Yeah. Excellent.
Mhm.
Well, Dolly, you survived, but before I let you go, I look for every guest to recommend somebody like Emma, threw you under the bus and said, "Hey, you could get Dolly on." So, Dolly, who in your volleyball circle would you think would be good to come on and share their story?
I think I would love to recommend Quinn Pellant.
Okay.
She also has a really fun story. She's from Northern Alberta, so I think that would be, I'd love for her to get her story out there if she wants.
All right. Now, where is she? Where is she playing? Where did she play?
She played like university
Yeah,
or
or both.
she played at Mount Royal with
Oh,
us.
nice.
Yeah. And then she's also with the national team right now. And she played in France and Spain.
Excellent. All right. Well, we'll get her on. We'll get you to twist her arm.
Yeah, I'll shoot her a little message.
All
Say I
right.
think you're the best.
Yeah, you can say, "Hey, I threw you under the bus. Get ready."
Yeah. Forgive me, sorry.
Well, hey, Dolly, good luck this summer. Hopefully, we'll see you in Ottawa and on the at the VNLs.
Thank you so much. Fingers crossed.
a beauty.